Alright everyone, hello, and welcome back. Long time since I updated this channel. Sorry. Streaming a lot on Twitch. Check me out, twitch.tv/SDShepherd. Wanted to make a video today on a interesting development, occurrence. Not really sure what to call it. If you've been around in this channel for a long time or you're a fan of Monster Hunter, you may know there's a lot of Monster Hunter games out there that exist, from old consoles going all the way back from the PS2 to the PSP, to the 3DS, to the Wii U, etc. that more or less live on those platforms. They've not had a chance to come out and spread their wings. In a lot of situations, these platforms were relatively niche in the West, so a lot of people never had a chance to play these older titles. The only real way to get around and playing these titles has generally been, well, emulation or going out of your way to try and get them if you picked up World and you liked it. With that in mind, one of my viewers was astute enough to find out that on this obscure section of the Japanese Capcom website, a mysterious update has happened under the entry for Monster Hunter G. And any eagle-eyed viewers out here may notice, this game was originally released on the PS2. It got a Wii remaster, which added some 16:9 support, changed some balance things around, allowed for you to charge the greatsword. But most interestingly enough is we see Steam is now listed as a platform for this game to come out. Now, let me be very clear. The game is not out right now on Steam. To my knowledge, there's been no official announcement of it coming out on Steam. But if you go down to the media, you do see a number of screenshots. I have no idea where these screenshots are from. Obviously, the game itself is still being played in Japanese. It's got a 4:3 aspect ratio, not a 16:9 aspect ratio. But it does have a lot of names in English, which may or may not mean anything. Those of you unfamiliar with this game in terms of its relation to the series in the West, we did get Monster Hunter, which is kind of like a half step towards Monster Hunter G on the PlayStation 2. A lot of the things that were in Monster Hunter G got converted over to Monster Hunter Freedom, which was released in the West on the PSP. So if you've played Monster Hunter Freedom before, you've definitely played a lot that Monster Hunter G has to offer. Presumably, there are a lot of balance changes there. I'm not an expert on this game. I've never actually played this one specific game. I've never played specifically Monster Hunter G. It is an old game. I don't want to say it's a crusty game. These games, even the older ones, are still a whole lot of fun to play. I might throw some footage up in a second here just so we can kind of go over kind of like what it was like on the PSP and playing Monster Hunter Freedom. But I think the most interesting thing for me for this overall is assuming that this is not an error from from Capcom and just this website, is that maybe when the CEO has said we are looking to put out more games on a digital platform, and of course knowing that Capcom saw as Monster Hunter being basically its best-selling title ever, maybe there is going to be a plan going forward to sort of update and re-release these titles on Steam. Maybe. Nothing's guaranteed. That being said, I've got a little hesitation as much as I want to see these games updated and released on Steam and then be made available for everyone to play. And as much as I love going back and playing these older titles, I will be the first one to say, this is probably not the one I would start with. I think the farthest you'd really ever want to go back would be Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Freedom Unite has quick, easy, responsive controls, native 16:9 support. Its engine has been played around and tweaked with an emulation in PSP to make it look good and run okay. And I'm sure with actual Capcom engineers, they could take some of those approaches and create a really good playing classic title for people to play. If this does end up being made and end up being released, I would be concerned that people that started with Monster Hunter World and played Rise would be like, what the hell is this? Why would I ever play this game? That being said, I'm optimistic. I'm hoping it does end up coming to pass. I hope this is not just a error on the website and that this is the first glimpse into a possibility that we will get a proper, over time re-release, remastering of these old titles. And when I mean remaster, I don't mean like, 4K models and 4K textures. I just mean clean it up, make it work on multiple scaling different monitors, ideally based on like a 1080p resolution. If they can upscale the textures a little bit, fine. Don't go overboard. And make it so that you can easily play multiplayer with other people. In terms of game preservation, I mean, that's all I've ever wanted from Capcom. And if this is the first start of it, I'll be first in line to support it. Wouldn't think this would be the one we'd get first, but if this ends up happening, I think that'll be great. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is this a sign? Are we getting a series of new releases? You can go to the main Capcom page and you can search going through the series. It is not a mistake. You have everything that has ever been released on Steam here, and you're not going to see anything other than proper Steam released games. And right down at the bottom is Monster Hunter G. So somebody did, for one reason or another, enable the flag for Monster Hunter G on Steam. So let me know, is it possible? Are we going to be getting a Monster Hunter G release soon on Steam? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Otherwise, until next time, good luck and have a good hunt.